In this video, we shall discuss redox reaction. Redox reaction. Redox reaction. Redox reaction simply means reduction, reduction and oxidation reaction. Reduction and oxidation. Oxidation reaction. Reduction and oxidation reaction. Redox reaction simply means reduction and oxidation reaction. The abbreviation of reduction and oxidation reaction is called redox reaction. Redox reaction can be defined in terms of oxygen. It can be defined in terms of electron transfer. It can be defined in terms of addition of hydrogen. It can be defined in terms of electropositive and electronegative elements. Before we look at the definitions of redox reaction, we have to look at these two agents, which are known as reducing agents, and oxidizing agent, and oxidizing agent, reducing agent and oxidizing agent. What is a reducing agent? A reducing agent is a substance. It could be an element, or a compound. A reducing agent is a substance which could be an element or a compound that loses electron, that loses electron to increase in valency state, to increase in oxidation number. This is an agent which could be an element, an element or a compound. It could be an element or a compound that loses electrons, to increase in oxidation number, to increase in oxidation number, to increase in oxidation number. Reducing agent can also be called electron donor, electron donor, electron donor, or reductant, reductant. Reducing agent can also be called electron donor or reductant. Reducing agent is an agent, a substance which could be an element or a compound that loses electron to increase in oxidation number, to increase in oxidation number. Then we have oxidizing agent, oxidizing agent, oxidizing agent, oxidizing agent, oxidizing agent. What is an oxidizing agent? This could be an element or a compound that gains electron to decrease in oxidation number. It could be an element, an element. It could be an element or a compound. It could be an element or a compound that gains electron, that gains electron to decrease, to decrease, to decrease in oxidation, oxidation number, oxidation number. It could be an element or a compound that gains electron to decrease in oxidation number. Oxidizing agent can also be called electron acceptor, electron acceptor, electron acceptor, or can also be called oxidant, can also be called an oxidant. That means before you know the definition of redox reaction, you have to know these two agents. What is reducing agent? What is an oxidizing agent? A reducing agent could be an element or a compound that loses electron to increase the oxidation number. And another name for reducing agent is called reductant or an electron donor. While oxidizing agent is an element or a compound that gains electron to decrease in oxidation number, which can also be called electron acceptor and oxidant or an oxidant. Now let us go to the definition of redox reaction. Definitions, definitions of redox, of redox reaction, of redox reaction. Definitions of redox reaction. The first definition of redox reaction can be defined in terms of oxygen, in terms of oxygen, in terms of oxygen, in terms of oxygen. Redox reaction can be defined in terms of oxygen. What is redox reaction in terms of oxygen? Reduction reaction is the removal of oxygen, while oxidation reaction is the addition of oxygen. Reduction reaction, which is reduction reaction, this, that is reduction reaction, is the removal, removal of oxygen, oxygen. While oxidation reaction, oxidation, oxidation reaction is the addition, addition of oxygen. Reduction reaction is the removal of oxygen, while oxidation reaction is the addition of oxygen. Let me illustrate this with a chemical reaction. Let me illustrate this with a chemical reaction. When you have this chemical reaction in which you have zinc, which is solid, plus zinc oxide, which is solid, plus carbon to give zinc plus CO2 gas, solid gas. When you have it, balance the equation, put 2 here, put 2 here. The equation is balanced. When you have zinc oxide plus what? Carbon to give zinc plus CO2. This carbon is known as a coke. Coke is an amorphous of carbon which is used in extraction of metal such as zinc from zinc oxide. In this case, we can illustrate this chemical reaction to identify the reducing agent, to identify the what? Oxidizing agent. This reaction is an example of redox reaction because both reduction and oxidation reaction are occurring simultaneously. It's a redox reaction. For you to identify the reducing and oxidizing agent, look at the word zinc at the word reactant. The zinc at this position is what? The oxidation number of zinc is +2. That means when you have zinc oxide, to calculate the oxidation number of zinc, which is X, plus oxidation number of oxygen, which is -2, everything equal to 0. Then X plus -2 minus 2 equal to 0. S is +2. That means oxidation number of zinc is +2. The oxidation number of carbon is what? 0. Why? Because it is an element that is standing alone. It is in neutral state. Whenever you see an element standing alone, an atom standing alone in a chemical reaction, the oxidation number is 0. The oxidation number of carbon at this point at the reactant is 0 because it is neutral. Then let us go to the product. At the product, we have zinc standing alone. It is neutral. Therefore, the oxidation number of zinc is what? 0. Then look at CO2. What is oxidation number of carbon in CO2? Is unknown. Let us calculate it. X plus oxidation number of oxygen -2. How many atoms of oxygen do we have? 2 times 2. Everything equal to 0. You have X. This one will give you -4 equal to 0. S equal to what? +4. The oxidation number of carbon in CO2 is what? +4. That's why it's called carbon 4 oxide. Then look at this. From here, the zinc from the reactant has reduced from +2 to what? 0. Zinc has reduced from +2 to 0. And I told you whenever an atom or an element reduces in oxidation number, such element is known as oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent reduces, decreases in oxidation number. This one has decreased from +2 to what? 0. Therefore, zinc oxide is oxidizing agent. Then look at carbon. Carbon has increased from 0 to +4. Carbon has increased from 0 to +4. That means oxidation number of carbon has increased. And I told you whenever the oxidation state of an element or of a compound increases, That means the compound or the element is a what? Reducing agent. That means this carbon is a reducing agent. Then from zinc oxide to this zinc, since there is reduction in oxidation number of zinc from +2 to 0, that is what? Reduction reaction. Reduction reaction. Reduction reaction. Meaning that there's reduction in oxidation number of zinc from +2 to what? 0. Then look at this. From carbon to what? Carbon 4 oxide. Here the oxidation number of carbon has increased. It has been oxidized. Therefore this reaction from here to here is oxidation reaction. Oxidation reaction. And I told you, reduction reaction is the removal of oxygen. And you see, oxygen has been removed from zinc. Reduction reaction. Oxidation reaction is addition of oxygen. Oxygen has been added to carbon. Oxygen has been added to carbon to form CO2. Oxidation reaction. Please, for more video on redox reaction, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, share. My name is Chama from New